And welcome back to the 3 Minute Devar. I hope you are all well and healthy and somehow making the most of a difficult period of time. Tier 4 is not easy for anyone, and please God, we can come back to shul and see each other and have life back to normal as soon as it possibly can. We are always here for you as a community, and please do feel free to be in touch with myself if there's anything that we can do to help and be of service. This week's portion is Parshat Vayigash. Vayigash is a fascinating portion. It talks of Joseph eventually revealing himself to his brothers, letting them know who he was. It talks of Jacob finally reuniting with Joseph after over 20 years of not seeing his favorite son. And it talks of Jacob meeting up with Pharaoh for the very first time as well. And I'd like to discuss Jacob's encounter with Pharaoh, as there's a beautiful message which we can learn from this dialogue between them. When Jacob meets Pharaoh for the very first time, Pharaoh takes one look at Jacob and asks him one question. He says, "Kama yemei shnei chayecha?" He says, "How many are the days of the years of your life?" A strange way of asking a question, but basically, in short, he was saying to Jacob, "How old are you?" He saw Jacob looked incredibly old. He'd probably never seen anyone that old before, and he says to Jacob, "Tell me, how old are you?" And Jacob responds in a very interesting way. He sort of responds to Pharaoh and uses it as a teaching moment for Pharaoh. He says to Pharaoh, "You've just asked me how old I am, and you've used the word life in there. You've said, Kama yemei shnei chayecha? How many are the years of your life? Let me tell you, Pharaoh, there's a very big difference between being alive and life itself." And he says to Pharaoh, "I've been alive for 130 years. My heart has been beating for 130 years. But my life is much shorter than that. My life isn't just the years that I've been around on this world, but my life is my ability to grow, my ability to achieve, and my ability to really make the most of my time in this world." And he says to Pharaoh, "Unfortunately, I've had so much pain and challenge and suffering that life itself wasn't 130 years for me. Life itself was much less than that." Jacob had been through an incredibly painful experience, not being able to see Joseph for so many years. He'd had incredibly difficult experiences with his brother Esau and his father-in-law Lavan. And Jacob was telling Pharaoh, "Pharaoh, that's not what life is all about. Life is not about how many years you've been living on this world for, but life is really about how much we make of the life that we have, how much we do with our lives, how much we achieve, how much we accomplish. When we think of the lives that we live, we recognize as well, it's not just how old we are, it's not just how many years we've breathed on this planet, but it's how much we've done with the gift of life, how much love we've shown to others, how much love we've shown to ourselves, how much we've contributed to the world, how much we've contributed to the people around us, to our friends and to our families, and how much we've grown as human beings." Jacob says to Pharaoh, "Pharaoh, next time you ask someone how old they are, recognize that that's not what's important, but it's what they make of their life, not how many years they've lived on this planet." As we approach 2021, this is definitely something to be thinking about, something to be considering as we think about the year ahead. What is life all about? What do we want to do with our lives? And how are we best going to do that? Wishing you all a very Merry Shabbat.